see the Dawn soap? Yeah, we're peeking out the kitchen window. We got a little bit of a widowmaker there, the big branch. They're taking down the dangerous dead branches before winter and before they can put the perimeter fence up. So while he's doing that, that would be our friend Clint trying to finish up the turkey coop, separate those birds. Welcome to the Paige family homestead, guys. So while the guys are busy, I thought perfect time for me to get this hamburger used up. I don't want to keep it in the freezer if I don't have to. We still, even though we eat a lot of homemade meals, we still have days where, oh, takeout. And sometimes we do, like Chinese. But most of the time when we just want a quick meal, I want to be able to run to the shelves and get a jar. This is 1.5 pints, and I make meatballs. And what I've done it with broth, I've done it with spaghetti sauce. My favorite is tomato juice. And the reason I like to do it with the tomato juice, I don't know if any of you locals, or even, I don't even know if this restaurant was like a franchise. I don't know, I was just a young girl. Did they have franchises then? But they had this red gravy sauce that went over top of the hamburger bun with the hamburger. It was like a platter type meal. And oh my Lord, we both love it. Andy and I both remember it from our childhood. So by canning it with the juice, I'm able to transform it into something that is so close to copycat. It's, yeah. And if I don't want the juice, I can drain that off and use the meatballs in a meatball sub, or put them in with the juice into a homemade spaghetti sauce. There's so many things. We love to use them for meatball subs and grill them in the oven when it's all built up. It's delicious. So it's a fast meal, right? Open, heat, and eat. Sometimes we don't heat. That's up to you. Your kitchen, your rules. How much hamburger do I have? Oh gosh, you know what, guys? This much. I'm just using up the big bulk of burger that he got me to do a few other recipes. I don't want to put it in the freezer. I want fast meals on hand. My jars have been washed and sterilized. It has a fault in it. It's a brand new jar, which reminds me, the lid. Brand new lids. The actual lid is okay. The ring that this jar came with has an indent on the outside of the ring. So I thought, oh, well, let's turn that around. Oh, right in the line of fire for my lid. So I would never get a proper seal with this. So this is gone. And this jar is actually going into a collection of other bad jars. I have a Bernardin's. I have some from every label. When I get a case, I'll ship it back at their cost after speaking with them. But it happens. So check your jars. Oh, see? Check. What I've got is, no, I'm not putting any binders. 2 eggs, I don't mind. They're going to cook. No bread, no crackers, no flour or whatever you use. Don't put it in there. It's a filler. It doesn't weather well. It swells. They suggest that you don't. The powers that be say don't. And the great grandmas also, most of them will say don't. So we don't. 2 to 3 eggs, depending on how much meat you have. I probably could use 3, but I'm going to see how far I can go. Now, if I find that I do need something to bind it, I meant binders, not fillers, then what I will use, okay, my spices. I'm getting ahead. I like a little parsley. I'm not measuring. These meatballs are not a recipe, it's a method. The recipe is, what do you want? What do you like? We love garlic, you all know, and we love onion. So I've done these with tiny, tiny McDonald onion type cuts in them before. I prefer not to. So I want more of a smooth meatball. Onion powder. Now this helps to bind as well. And I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper in here. If I can figure out how to over here. Come on out, come on out. There we go. So, okay, I'll just get in here. Hands are clean. I'm not going to kill myself or my husband or my grandbabies or my children or my baby doggies. Because, yeah, they get a meatball or two here and there. Why not? I know what's in it. I know there's no wheat products in here, so my babies aren't going to get hurt with that. Dogs don't do well with gluten or wheat products. You should always use rice flour when making their treats. Okay, so I'm feeling it, and I think, it's probably okay. But sometimes it's not, so I want to show you this little something that I do. You all saw all the, you saw the tomato skins that we dehydrated. I'll put the icon up. I never put them in the right place. When you see one, jump. Well, we dehydrated tomato skins. And this is from last year. I'm not going to use this year's until last year's is finished. I will use my tomato powder as a binder. And all it's going to do is intensify the flavors from the tomato. Oh, they're going to be good. I can tell. You want to put a little bit of Worcestershire in there, or just nothing that's bready or ricey. Don't put rice. So now the meatballs themselves, I'm not going to pack them in. Like when we made the meatloaf, we used the raw meat. I'm not going to do that with the meatballs, because how do I put the meatballs in there? What's going to happen when they go through the pressure canner? They're going to make a meatloaf, so or be all sticky together and gross. I want these to look like meatballs. So we're going to put them in the oven at 375. I'll check them every 10 minutes. I don't want to cook them through. I want them to be pinky in the middle, because they're going to go through a 90-minute pressure canning session, because this is a quart measurement, even though it's a pint and a half. Remember that, 90 minutes. Where the pint would be 75. I probably should use pints, but normally when we pull these out, it's maybe one of the kids came home and it's like, okay, what can I throw together for them, you know, real quick, and boom. Sometimes Andy and I pinched into them too. So I'm going to make the meatballs. Oh, you know when you're making meatballs into about your 5th or 6th meatball, you get this gross on your hand? They say, so I thought I'd test it out. I got a little bit of water here to keep your hands wet when making your meatball, and you won't get that. I've heard butter, but then it was horrible to wash the butter off your hand. That might be just a little bigger than what I wanted. I'm going to play. There's no rhyme or reason. You do you. Do what you want. It's your kitchen. It's your food. And have you ever bought the meatballs that they sell in the store pre-made? These are so much better. Nowhere, nothing like those. You can tell, oh, I'm eating a homemade meatball. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the size I want to go. Let's see if I can be uniform. That's a big difference. I don't know. I'm going to play with it. And when I fill my tray, I'll be back. Okay, so I got the meatballs made. Did I stick to a particular size? Yeah, I did. I I can't. I tried. You wait till you see me make my oma soup with the authentic herb that needs to be in. You'll see. But, because they're like minuscule, or they're supposed to be. So, I've got my pie plate here in reserve. I've only got the one drip pan roaster. So I'm going to put these in a preheated oven at 375, and I'll check them at 10 minutes, then 5, then just keep an eye on them. We only want them browned. We don't want them cooked through, okay? So when we get all the balls browned, we'll be back. I just wanted to bring it in real quick to show you the deformity in this jar. Brand new, out of the case, thrown in the sink. No, not literally. Washed, drip dried. That's from the manufacturer. There's an air bubble. I don't know if you can see that. That would have exploded in your canner. Check your jars. Okay, so the meatballs took 10 and 15 minutes at 375. They're not finished. They're still somewhat raw in the middle. And how do I know that without even taking the temperatures? I tried to pinch one. Nah, it wasn't good. I'm being honest. So I always add whatever liquid I'm doing a little bit, just a little bit in the bottom of the jar. It helps to create that vacuum between the solid and the jar and air getting underneath. And we don't want to destroy these meatballs when we're debubbling. We are required a 1-inch headspace. This is the tomato juice. And I know the rim is my 1 inch. Now more often than not, when we debubble, we'll create more room. But I do not want to be hard on these. I'd like to unpack meatballs, not goulash. These are going to be so good. And the meatballs are going to finish cooking in this tomato juice. And the tomatoey, brothy goodness is what helps create that wonderful flavor that we're looking for that red sauce. I want to keep this, and I'll put this here. Okay. I'm happy with that. Now, the meatballs, they're not done cooking. They're going to shrink a little bit. This is vinegar I'm wiping it with. I changed the water out. I didn't. It's not the same one. This is a 90-minute pressure canning. So I'm going to, I don't have to sterilize. I've washed, it's from the factory. I wash, dry, the lids, the jars, everything. But it's not required in the pressure canner to sterilize. It's going to be in for 90 minutes. I think we're good. I've already double checked this case because I'm not happy with it. And there we have it. There's our jar of tomatoes, or sorry, meatballs in tomato sauce. And I can make a magnitude of meals with this. So I'm going to fill up the rest of the jars and we'll take it from there. I thought I'd bring out my very first canner. Haven't used this in a year and a half. I checked it over really good for all the safety precautions, made sure it was going to run smooth, checked the gasket. This one has a gasket. I made sure I could see through the light, everything was working. So what I've got is the required amount of water for my canner. That's up for you to decide and check out. And look at here, guys. I hope you can see this. Hope you can see it. We've got 4 pint and a half, and as a filler I've got my old lid, used lid, with a quart of water. Starting to build up some water supplies, not just for sterile but also, okay, line up and click. So my sweet spot with my American Standard is to bring it up would be between a 7 and an 8. I'm going to leave it just shy of the 8. I want to bring it up to pressure. At that point, my pin will pop. I'm going to start to see a steady stream of steam coming out of the spigot here. I'm going to leave that until it's blowing a good 10 minutes. I'm going to be timing it. When that timer goes off, I will put my 10-pound weight for my elevation on here, and my timing, no, I'll put it on, and then my timing will not begin until this dances for me. And then I want to measure the little between 1 and 4 per minute. Then I know I'm at the right pounds per pressure, the right heat for this session. And it's going to go be a 90-minute session. I'll bring you back at certain points of the session here, the canning procedure. Okay, we got us a nice steady stream of steam, so the timer is on for 10 minutes. And I'm staying in the kitchen, but I'm walking away. Timer, I don't know if you can see it now, says end. So, on you go. I remember this can't just, what we're looking for is a, at which time I'm just gonna, I'm on 8 right now. I'll touch it down to 7, and I'll start my timing at 90 minutes. What I'm looking for is a gentle every minute, maybe in between 1 to 4. I like to kick it around 1. So I'll play with it. No, I mean, I move it ever so little till you find your sweet spot, okay? I don't know what it is on this stove with this canner. I know what it is on the American Standard. So I'm really looking forward to this. Memories. Bring you back. Okay, so my 90 minutes is up in 17 seconds. I've been averaging maybe 3, maybe 4 jiggers in a minute, usually about 3.5. So that suited me fine. We just let it run like that. And I'm down to a number 5 to get that. So now the heat goes off and I leave it. This little red button will drop when the pressure is gone. Just gonna let it do its thing. I can smell it now. It's going to be so nice.
I'm building a turkey coop the cheapest way I can, all out of skids. And right now I've got used tin for the roof. You can see how they don't match, but I'm going to paint them later. So all it's going to cost me is some paint and some paintbrushes. Maybe a roller.
What are you going to wrap sides with, hon?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to build this as free as possible. As cheap as possible.
Maybe some,
hey?
Maybe some plywood or
maybe, yeah,
metal, whatever we
metal,
find.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
You can drive your wood donations down here to Canada, Main Street, Canada. Yeah. Third igloo from the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting in for the dogs.
All right,
have fun with your turkey hut.
Fishing hut.
Turkey hut. Okay, nothing exciting here. The pressure's gone down, and all I'm doing for the next 10 minutes is pull the weight off. Okay, 10 minutes is gone. Next stage is just as boring. I'm just going to unlock and lift. That's it. Just going to leave it like that. 10 minutes. Okay, it's time. Lift away. It was fun using this old canner again, I gotta say. Oh, look at that, guys. There's enough in there to feed 3 people a nice meatball sub, or 3 people to have spaghetti with meatballs. Just add that to your sauce that you're making. Whatever, there's so many different possibilities. Your imagination is your limit. You can pack them in what do you call it, broth. You can do them in water, but why? Here, just get it over there. Okay, there we go. Don't want them crooked to fall. There. And my emergency water. Adding another one to the collection. So there we have it, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Make sure, oh, look at them dancing in there. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you're not, please do. Please subscribe. It helps us so much. 60% of our viewers aren't subscribed. Yeah. Look at that. Just beautiful, guys. Made with love for later. Look at that.